So, we've been talking this week about people who live big lives, who live transcending lives and have very strong purposes. And we've been talking about how you apply the purpose to becoming more purposeful. So, that's what we're going to talk about in this session. We're going to talk about how, remember, we discussed the things that you value the most create these B goals in your life. So I want to be a visionary leader. I want to be a family man. I want to be a seeker of truth, a friend, a fun loving person. These are all B goals. And that's awesome. This comprises my purpose in my life. That's very important. But to be purposeful, I need to enact these B goals. Somehow I need to implement these B goals in my daily life. So, in order to be a family man, I might have to do certain things. Like I have to learn how to be calm. I have to learn how to be energetic. I have to learn how to be more generous. I have to learn how to be a better listener or to be positive. We call these do goals because these are the things you need to do in order to be purposeful. You cannot be purposeful without having a purpose. So the B goals form your purpose. And just remember, those B goals are created by the things that you value the most in your life. But from that, then, you need some do goals in order to enact those things, to become purposeful. Does that make sense? So then, being calm, being a broader thinker, being energetic, that's not specific enough. And a lot of people come in and say, well, I want to be more energized, or I want to have more willpower, I want more discipline, I want to lose weight, I want to do X, Y, or Z. Well, that's fine, but you need action goals as well. You need specific habits that you can start developing. So, in order to be calm, because you are a family man, maybe I'll give you a serenity meditation that helps you become more calm. To be positive, maybe I'll give you a little exercise to see the positive things in stress, to see the things in stress that are actually in a positive way challenging to you. And you go, wow, I don't mind that stress. In fact, I embrace that stress. And I'm learning how to be positive in the face of stress. Maybe to be a better listener, I need some type of way of not interrupting people as much. So maybe I've created a game called the no interruption game. To be more connected, maybe I need dance lessons. So these are called action goals. So this diagram is really important because now we're starting to talk about how our purpose relates to our behavior, relates to our actions every single day. So when we think about this, we have a why for our actions. Think about how many things you do that have no real clear why to them. And that's what we're going to ask you to start doing, to think about every action you take. Does it have a good, strong why? And does it relate to some purpose that you have? And then conversely, we'll look at how these B goals, this purpose that you have, needs to be enacted in a way. How do I become purposeful? So there's both a why and a how to this. So just for example, I want to be a visionary leader. Now, very recently, I ended up with knee replacement surgery. Now, that can be fairly painful, and it has been. The rehab can be difficult and slow, and it has been. So I've needed to find out, given the fact that I had this knee surgery, but I also need to be a visionary leader, how can I continue to be a visionary leader? I know the why. The why is I need to be a visionary leader, but how can I do that? So I discover, wow, I need to be resilient. But being resilient, that's a do goal, and that's a little bit vague. I know I need to be resilient, but what are the action goals for that? Well, I can look this up and find out, wow, one way to be more resilient in the face of knee replacement surgery is to move around when I'm watching TV. So during TV commercials, I can get up, let's say I'm watching the Michigan Wolverines play basketball, and there are a million commercials. During those million commercials, I can get up and walk around a million times, which is great. And that might make me more resilient, which helps me become a visionary leader. So there's a why to my movement during TV commercials. There's also a how to become a visionary leader. Now, by the way, just in reference to my knee replacement surgery, this is a real study that was done a few years ago, the role of purpose in life in recovery from knee surgery. I read this and thought, wow, okay, I really need to focus on my purpose in life while I'm recovering. This study found that during knee replacement rehab, while I'm rehabilitating, I need to engage in a stronger purpose in life because it produces less negative affect. In other words, sad feelings, less depression. And a lot of people who go through this painful rehabilitation after knee replacement surgery start becoming depressed. They also become anxious. And having a strong purpose in life predicted less negative affect, less depression, less anxiety, and actually more positive affect. So that was great. I decided to take that on. So if you're using the purposeful application, you can do what I did a few weeks ago, which was to set an intention to become more resilient. That is a do goal. Now, why did I set that do goal? Because of my purpose. And my purpose is defined as being a family man, a visionary leader, etc. I've shown this before. This is based on my B goals, right? So my B goals are telling me I need to be more resilient. At the same time, my do goal is saying, okay, here's what I need to do. I have to ask, how do I become more resilient? I understand the why of why I need to be resilient, but I also need to understand the how to become more resilient. And purposeful gives me a how. So I can just put in the explore page, pain from knee surgery. And it came up with some really good ideas, including give your body a commercial break. So you might want to try this. If you're using the purposeful application, you can go ahead and use that explore page to explore what kinds of action goals or habits you could start building around any intention that you decide to set. So in other words, there's a why from my do goals. That is my B goals, my purpose in life. There's also a how from my do goals. Those are my action goals.